Right. So we're not trying to scare anybody. We're just trying to make it so that you prepare to be aware.
Yes. We just want you to be aware of your surroundings so that your vacation in Italy can be remembered forever and always as the dream that it should be.
Italian for Travelers, Episode 21, the Other Kinds of Emergencies episode. In today's episode, we discuss tips to keep ourselves and our valuables safe while visiting Italy and how to avoid theft and pickpocketing, with a special section on women's safety. Just in case, we also practice a dialogue to ask for help, and Elisa tells us about Italy's various law enforcement agencies.
Ciao! Benvenuti a Italian for Travelers, the second season of the Postcards from Italy podcast. I'm Elisa, a native Italian speaker and teacher. Although I was born in Emilia-Romagna, I've spent the last 18 years living in the US and teaching Italian to mostly American students. Along the way, I've learned a lot about what first-time travelers and new Italian language learners really want to know. In short, they want to live la Dolce Vita glamour, but without the grammar. This season, let's stamp your passport with some Italian vocabulary, cultural tips, dialogues, and practice lessons with my real-life student and friend, Erin. But we only share a fraction of what we talk about on our streaming episodes.
Visit www.postcardsfromitalypodcast.com for our bonus materials and subscribe to our newsletter for updates.
With our podcast and bonus materials, I can help you transform from just another tourist into a curious traveler. Okay. Here we go. Remember, don't worry if you cannot understand much during your first listen. Just relax, sit back, and enjoy la dolce lingua. Ok, cominciamo. Let's begin. Cari amici, benvenuti. Welcome to Italian for Travelers Lesson 21, titled Altri tipi di emergenze.
Other kinds of emergencies.
That's right. You might find that living la Dolce Vita in Italy is sort of a full-time job with all the sightseeing, aperitivoing, and shopping. But we're here to warn you that there's another category of people who will make a full-time job out of you if you're not careful, and that's pickpockets.
Pickpockets.
Yes.
And
Borseggiatori.
we'll be talking about other things too.
Yes.
Right?
Well, first of all, we'll give you suggestions on how to avoid becoming a victim of these pickpockets and glossary about theft and loss. And then we'll also look at safety for women, especially women traveling solo in the country, and with phrases and vocabulary about reacting to unwanted attention.
Unwanted attention in Italy. Yes, you can have unwanted attention in Italy.
You can have lots of it. And finally, we'll help you distinguish between the different types of law enforcement officers.
Very necessary, and I don't mean
Yes.
to laugh at it, but if you listened to our car and driving episode, you might remember that with more and more and more different agencies, Elisa really had to untangle it for me. So I think you're doing more of the untangling today.
Yeah, just so you can distinguish what uniform belongs to what type of order. When you walk around the town center, you'll see many men in uniform in Italy. And so it gives you a sense of, okay, I know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah. A lot more about safety and other types of emergencies. So let's dive in.
Let's dive in. Let's start with today's idiom. La fortuna è cieca, ma la sfiga ci vede benissimo. And this is by Roberto Freak Antoni.
And he was a singer.
He was an Italian singer, very well loved by many Italians.
And this idiom means good luck is blind, but bad luck can see very well. So that's what Elisa was saying. You might be looking toward La Dolce Vita and someone else is looking at your wallet, your pockets, and your handbags.
And I agree with Freak Antoni 100%.
So we're going to give you ways to be able to see around you. Be aware.
Defend yourself from la sfiga.
And now let's hear Italian in action with this dialogue.
In una strada affollata davanti ai negozi.
On a busy street in front of stores. What a pretty necklace. My sister would love it. Let me get my credit card out. Wait a minute, where's my wallet? Oh no, I think I've been robbed. Sono stata derubata.
Oh no, poverina! È laggiù quel farabutto, guardi! Sta scappando! Al ladro! Borseggiatore, fermatelo!
Oh, I see my wallet on the ground over there. Il mio portafoglio. He stole my cash, but luckily my ID is still here. Mi ha rubato I soldi, ma non la carta di identità.
Sì, purtroppo è molto comune in questa zona, signora.
It's very common in this area. What a shame. It's such a beautiful place.
Succede anche a noi del posto. Un ladro mi ha rubato la borsa un mese fa.
Un ladro mi ha rubato la borsa. Oh, so it happened to her too. Mi dispiace.
Grazie, poi la borsa l'ho trovata in un cassonetto della spazzatura qui vicino. Adesso però, signora, deve chiamare la polizia e fare una denuncia di furto.
Chiamare la polizia? Call the police? My phone is dead. Il mio telefono è scarico. But maybe I can just go to the police station. Okay, where is the police station? Dove la questura?
È in via Fermi, dopo l'incrocio qui davanti, a destra.
Pass this intersection on the right. That's easy enough. I'll go right now. Perfetto, grazie.
E, signora, è ancora interessata alla collana? Would you like to buy the necklace?
Mi dispiace, ma non ho soldi. Maybe I can go to the police station and come back later. Vado in questura e torno dopo. Va bene?
Ma certo, signora. Buona fortuna.
Buona fortuna. That's good luck. Oh, yes, I'm gonna need that. Grazie mille. Buona giornata.
Okay, let's start with our cultural notes, Erin.
So, while violent crime is fairly rare in Italy, sadly, pickpocketing is not. Pickpocketing is a full-time job for some criminals, and with the amount of tourists that visit Italy each year, opportunities for thieves are ripe, especially in well-known areas like Rome, Venice, Florence, Naples, the Amalfi Coast, and Le Cinque Terre. Metros, subways, buses, train stations, crowded streets and piazze near famous sites or museums are all prime spots for pickpockets. In these areas, tourists are not the only targets. Even locals complain about getting robbed. So while trying to blend in with the locals by dressing like an Italian may not be your quick fix to avoid getting pickpocketed, being aware of your surroundings and of what other people are doing will really make a difference. And before we move into this, I was recently in Italy. I know every time I mention that, I'm like, I was recently in Italy.
It's job research.
Yeah, it's just occupational hazard. But two of my traveling companions before we met up had their wallets stolen at the Gucci store. The Gucci store in Florence. So they were distracted by,
of course,
everything beautiful there.
Yeah.
They were having champagne, and there were a couple of characters in there that seemed fine enough, but one of my friend's sort of spidey senses went off, but she didn't listen to her gut, and she found out later when she went to pay for some Gucci items that...
Oh my gosh, that's so sad. We'll see in our notes as we continue that being distracted is probably the one thing that gives you away and makes you the prime target for any pickpocket.
My daughter and I had walked past that same store, probably either on that day or the day after. We didn't walk in because we would have just been sort of looking. And there were two security guards. There was somebody walking around with champagne. I thought, okay, well, we'll look silly if we go in there and we're not really buying anything. So we didn't end up going in. But even with all of that.
Yeah, that just tells you how much they're not deterred by even a security guard at the door.
And they're good.
They're good, and they target a store where they know people are going to spend money and probably carry money on themselves.
Yeah. So we have some tips, right?
Many.
So, Elisa has a few suggestions to consider to avoid being the victim of pickpockets in Italy.
Yes. Most important, don't get distracted. A pickpocket's easiest target is someone who is too distracted to carefully protect their belongings. Someone who is tired from a long trip and possibly overwhelmed by heavy bags, or someone who is clearly lost and out of place. The average person who is busy looking at their phone is also an ideal target, as is a tourist who is contemplating the beauty of their new surroundings. Pickpockets often stage distractions as well to have you fall into their trap. Fake altercations, spilling a drink on you, acting obnoxious, anxious, or even a child begging you for money, asking for help or offering you something. And then, of course, there's the tried and true technique of someone bumping into you on a crowded street, on a train or a bus, and swiftly grabbing your wallet while you try to figure out what just happened. And please remember that many of these crimes are perpetrated by very well-dressed locals who could blend right into any sort of crowd.
And that's, I think, what happened with my friends.
Yeah. So keep your eyes open at all times.
Yeah. Even if you're not in the crowded piazza, you're in a store or someplace else.
Yeah. Even when you feel you're at your safest, keep your eyes open.
Our next tip is to keep your bags in front of you or under your armpit if size allows. Do not swing it around your hip to your backside, especially in crowded places. Make sure that your bag is always sealed with the zipper facing forward. This will make it harder for pickpockets to try and sneak their hand in from behind you. Keep your hand on your bag if possible. That's something I always do.
You know, this and not getting distracted are probably the top tips to avoid pickpockets. I also naturally have learned to do that anytime I visit a touristy spot in Italy.
You'll see a lot of tourists wearing backpacks on the front, like a front pack.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks silly, but if you feel more comfortable with that, I think that's fine.
Please go ahead and do it, especially like busy streets, busy piazza, busy means of transportations. That's prime location for pickpockets. And I'd rather look somewhat silly for 10 minutes and get out of that place with my passport with me and wallet with me or phone with me than wanting to look fashionable or whatever and then lose any of my belongings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Be wary of people asking if you need help, especially around ATM machines. While there are many good Samaritans in every country, it's best not to blindly trust a stranger offering you help when you're traveling abroad, as they may have ulterior motives for their kindness. As we say in Italy, fidarsi è bene, ma non fidarsi è meglio.
It is good to trust, but it is better not to trust.
So, for safety reasons, try to use ATMs located away from major sites and tourist spots.
Another idea is to use bank ATMs. The ones that I tried to seek out were ones inside the entryway to a bank.
Yeah.
So you have to go through a door
Yeah.
and then it's inside that.
Yeah. And then we have the ones, outside are very common. A few years ago, a very common scam in Italy, even for Italians, was that somebody who would be very well dressed in a suit and tie would stand by the ATM and tell people that he was from the bank and just standing there to help them use the ATM. And many people fell for it.
Oh my goodness.
Obviously, this guy was not working for the bank. He was just scamming everyone trying to withdraw cash.
So just be aware.
Yes.
Really be aware.
Yes. In Italy, very rarely you get offered free help by a complete stranger like that.
When it comes to ATMs,
Yeah.
probably not. That's probably not the space where, oh my gosh, this guy was so nice helping me type in my PIN.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Our next tip is to keep your cash hidden. It's a good idea to leave most of your cash in your hotel room safe. I think most of the places where I stay, they have a safe. And carry with you only small amounts of cash for small purchases. You should be able to use a card for most transactions over €10 in most establishments, with the exception of the outdoor market. Store whatever money you're carrying with you in a travel belt or in a fanny pack worn in front of you. Keep the cash separate from any other belongings you might be carrying with you. And there are many cute fanny packs now. A couple years ago, I would have said absolutely not. Not in Italy, but now it's such a thing, those little crossover cute bags.
Yeah, I think in Italy, the trend for using a marsupio, that's how we call the fanny pack, never died.
Oh, good. That's why there's so much fashion around it, right?
Not my favorite item to accessorize with, but I definitely recognize the usefulness in this type of situations.
I used a bag like that, not necessarily a fanny pack, but one that sort of was a crossover.
Yep.
I had part of my payments and cash and whatever I needed with me in the bag. And then I had bought these they're actually cool, guys, some cool travel pants that had a zipper that was just the perfect size for like a little bit of cash.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I could put cash in that small zipper in my pants pocket just in case. The just in case pocket.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very smart. I have a lot of students who like to travel with money belts. Among my students, that seems to be like a very common option to keep safe. So remember, there are ways that you can just keep yourself safe, keep your money safe, and not have to worry about being pickpocketed all the time. Let's continue with our tips. Next tip is don't move your belongings, whether it's suitcases, bags, phones, valuables, or sizable purchases around in public. Always assume that someone might be watching you and wait for you to be distracted or away from your belongings to steal them.
Again, we don't want to scare you. We just want to make it, just be aware of your stuff.
Exactly.
Truly.
Exactly.
And lastly, if you are unfortunately pickpocketed, call and cancel any cards immediately. Then head to a questura.
That's the central police station.
As soon as possible. So within a day or two at the most to make a report. You will find a questura in each of the 103 provincial capitals of Italy. For banking and insurance reasons, you'll want full documentation. So make sure you ask for a
denuncia di furto.
That's a theft report. Also, it might be worth looking for your wallet, bag, or IDs in trash cans nearby, as some pickpockets will quickly discard them after grabbing your cash or your phone.
Yeah, this is very common. Yeah. One time I was robbed of my wallet when I was much younger, and yes, the wallet ended up being in a nearby trash can, of course, empty of everything that was of no value, but yeah, very, very common.
I want to say I've never been pickpocketed and I've not had any of these emergencies, thankfully, while I'm in Italy. But I also think that I'm a mom. I'm anxious about that stuff. And so I do everything that I can ahead of time just to prepare that, like, okay, I'm going to put this in that wallet. I'm going to have this zippered purse with me. I just stay aware of my situation and my surroundings. So then I feel really secure and comfortable when I'm traveling.
Yeah. And to be honest, I got robbed because I made a very stupid decision when I was 21.
To do what?
I was going to a club with my friends.
Wait, I made really bad decisions when I was 21 too. What one are we talking about?
Well, this is the one that I'm willing to tell you. But me and my friends were going to a club, and it was like 1 a.m, and we decided to leave our wallets in the trunk of the car and lock the car. And somebody was obviously watching us. And yeah, when we came back, like at 5 a.m, our wallets were all gone.
Yeah.
I never did that again, of course, but I learned the lesson the hard way. And now I do not do stuff like that ever. I also make sure to travel with my husband, who's 6'2", and
he's a sweet person, but he looks like he'll take care of things, if you know what I mean.
Okay. And now let's take a look at the first glossary for this episode. Parole ed espressioni essenziali sui furti e gli smarrimenti.
Essential words and phrases about theft and loss.
Simple communication is our goal. Therefore, we often provide the default masculine form of a noun or an adjective, and we prioritize formal communication over informal, unless otherwise noted. Don't worry, Italian speakers will still understand you.
Help.
Aiuto.
Thief.
Al ladro.
Pickpocket.
Borseggiatore.
Stop him or her.
Fermatelo or fermatela.
Call the police.
Chiamate la polizia.
I've been robbed.
Sono stato derubato or sono stata derubata.
I've been attacked.
Sono stato aggredito or sono stata aggredita.
Where is the police station?
Dov'è la questura?
I need to file a theft report.
Devo fare una denuncia di furto.
I need to call my embassy.
Devo chiamare la mia ambasciata.
A thief stole.
Un ladro mi ha rubato.
My purse.
La borsa.
My wallet.
Il portafoglio.
My suitcase.
La valigia.
My passport.
Il passaporto.
My ID.
La carta d'identità.
My driver's license.
La patente di guida.
My money.
I soldi.
My ticket.
Il biglietto.
My watch.
L'orologio.
My jewelry.
I gioielli.
My camera.
La macchina fotografica.
My phone.
Il cellulare or il telefonino.
My iPad or tablet.
L'iPad or il tablet.
My computer.
Il computer.
My laptop.
Il portatile.
My keys.
Le chiavi.
My car's been broken into.
Mi hanno scassinato la macchina.
My phone is dead.
Il mio telefono è scarico.
I have no money.
Non ho soldi.
There's a fire.
C'è un incendio.
Where is the emergency exit?
Dov'è l'uscita di emergenza?
Where is the fire extinguisher?
Dov'è l'estintore?
Call the fire department.
Chiamate i vigili del fuoco. Okay, so let's put all of that into practice now with Lessico in pratica. Erin, come si dice a thief stole my money?
Un ladro mi ha rubato I soldi.
Yes, brava, un ladro mi ha rubato I soldi. We hope that you never have to say that. Come si dice I need to file a theft report?
Devo fare una denuncia di furto.
Bravissima, eccellente. Yet another sentence that we hope you never have to say. Numero 3. Come si dice where's the police station?
Dove la questura?
Perfetto. And in general, no Italian likes to go to la questura. There's usually lines before you can get into la questura. Come si dice help, pickpocket?
Aiuto, borseggiatore.
Yes.
Borseggiatore.
Yes. So that comes from borsa,
Which means bag.
bag. Borseggiatore is somebody who steals your bag. Now, obviously, also refers to somebody stealing your wallet or any type of valuables that you may have on you, but that's where it comes from. So, aiuto borseggiatore. Numero 5. Come si dice my car's been broken into?
Mi hanno scassinato la macchina.
Brava. Mi hanno scassinato la macchina. Numero 6. Come si dice call the police?
Chiamate la polizia.
Bravissima. Perfetto. Numero 7. Come si dice, how do you say, a thief stole my passport?
Un ladro mi ha rubato il passaporto.
Perfetto. And speaking to that, always have photocopies of IDs with you. It just makes it easier in case your passport or identification gets stolen.
I take pictures of those and I put them onto my Dropbox or Google Drive, whatever.
Yeah,
So
very smart.
So just in case your phone and everything, like if anything gets stolen or is missing, there's a way to log in and find it.
Yes, that's excellent advice. Continuiamo, let's continue. Come si dice, I've been robbed?
Sono stata derubata.
Yes, so as a woman, you will have to use the endings in a. Sono stata derubata. For a man, we would use endings in o. Sono stato derubato. In any case, even if you were to use the wrong endings, people would definitely get the message that you were robbed. So don't worry too much about that if you are completely new to Italian.
It sounds an awful lot like Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Do you remember that song?
Ok, numero 9. Come si dice I need to call my embassy?
Devo chiamare la mia ambasciata?
Yes.
Ambasciata.
Yes, devo chiamare la mia ambasciata.
La mia ambasciata.
Perfetto.
Okay.
And last one. Come si dice stop him?
Fermatelo.
Yes.
You have to say it like you're like looking at him. He's running that way.
Yes.
Fermatelo.
And you're angry.
Yeah, but if it's a woman,
we say fermatela.
Fermatela.
Yes.
Okay. Fermatela. Fermatela.
Yes. Bravissima. It always works. Eccellente.
Ciao, it's Erin. We're fading out here so that we can keep our free streaming episodes a reasonable length of time. For additional bonus audio and all kinds of other bonus materials, head to our website. Now back to the show.
So let's talk a little bit about sicurezza per le donne.
This is safety for women.
Yes.
And we have a particular focus. I have 3 daughters, and Elisa grew up in Italy. So before we started, Elisa told me that even when she was in college in Bologna, and this is
like 25 years ago.
Like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
That girls never walked alone at night. And
No.
I remember that too. I mean, I grew up outside of Naples, more in a suburb when I was a teenager. And of course, not allowed to walk alone at night. It didn't feel particularly unsafe. It was just like, it was a best practice not to.
Yes, same.
And another thing that we were talking about was that while sexual harassment may be a big topic here in the US and in Canada, and that means like unwelcome attention as well as in the workplace or other areas, but that's not necessarily the case in Italy. The culture there can sometimes feel very macho.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
let's talk about what this means in terms of women's safety while they're traveling in Italy.
Yes, molto volentieri, very gladly. So, while gender roles in Italy are nowhere near as strict as they used to be in the past, the country is still plagued by devastating cases of sexual and domestic abuse. According to data released by the Ministry of the Interior, more than 100 women were killed in Italy in 2023, more than half by current or former partners. Regrettably, this is due mostly to a culture in which outbursts of violent and misogynistic jealousy are still seen as normal somewhat. And a lot will have to be done in the near future to protect women and prevent violence and discrimination. Nevertheless, Italy is still a safe country to visit, even for women traveling solo. Following a few precautions, everyone, regardless of their gender, can enjoy a safe, relaxing vacation without having to worry about their safety.
Right. So we're not trying to scare anybody. We're just trying to make it so that you're prepared to be aware.
Yes, in line with the previous cultural notes from this episode about pickpockets, we just want you to be aware of your surroundings so that your vacation in Italy can be remembered forever and always as the dream that it should be.
Absolutely.
Let's start with a few tips.
Okay. So be vigilant, especially at night. Opt for well-lit areas and busy streets, especially in unfamiliar environments, and avoid walking alone. Use public transportation or take a taxi if you have to travel at night.
Esatto.
When booking a hotel for your stay, make sure to research the surrounding area as well. Read reviews from previous guests and choose neighborhoods that are well-lit or generally considered safe. Yeah, the more that you can sort of prepare for that ahead of time and take care of yourself, then that La Dolce Vita version of yourself would be grateful and never have to use any of this vocabulary.
Esatto.
A lot of this should be self-explanatory, but just making sure to hammer it home, do not accept rides from strangers. Use reputable transportation services instead. We've mentioned that you can use public transportation at night, but use your best senses. And if possible, stay away from deserted trains or buses. Don't hang around train and bus stations at night, as they're typically not the safest places to be.
So let's continue with a few more tips. Maintain a careful approach to drinking. Don't overdo it, especially if you're going to be walking around. Be aware of your tolerance levels so you can't be taken advantage of while inebriated. While it's common in Italy to be offered a drink by people you may have just met, always make sure that your glass is not tampered with or left unattended.
And we've talked about this before, but Italians generally are moderate when it comes to drinking. And I think some challenges may come particularly for women who are not used to drinking a lot or who are overdoing it. You could be setting yourself up for an unwanted experience.
Yes, exactly.
So the kind way of saying, just keep your wits about you.
Yes.
Yeah. Or have someone who's got their wits about them looking after you.
Exactly. I completely agree. One more tip. Be aware of common tourist scams, like strangers offering you unsolicited help or asking you for donations or signatures. In general, refuse anything that's being given to you for free by total strangers, like bracelets, flowers, help of any kind, as most likely you'll be asked to pay for it later.
Yeah.
This is a very common technique to scam people, to be honest.
Yeah.
Last tip. Italian men are a flirtatious species, especially with women that they can easily identify as tourists or women who are dressed provocatively. Ignore catcalls and don't make any eye contact with men yelling, "Ciao, bella," as you walk down the street. Just keep on walking. These ubiquitous street Romeos may be annoying, but they're generally harmless. In the unlikely event that someone is actually bothering you or following you, ask for help. Approach a friendly-looking couple or walk into a nearby hotel, restaurant, or store and say, "Aiuto, qualcuno mi sta seguendo."
That means help, somebody's following me.
Yes.
I think it's important to note here, I have heard from many people that American girls get a bad rap over in Europe in general and definitely in Italy, where because, let's face it, like Italian men are charming, They're beautiful. Italian women also. And so if you go and there's somebody that you seem romantically inclined toward, they may think that you're possibly, to use the street term, like easier than you are, or that a sexual advance might be more welcome than it would be to a local Italian woman. I've heard that many times. And also because, like, hey, we're friendly. I do like to kick back a couple of spritzes and cackle and have fun and get loose in that way. But that's something to be very aware of, that, like, know your surroundings and know who you're with. Because it's not a true reputation, but it's something that's...
I think it all comes down to the fact that Italian men love foreign women.
Yeah.
And
we're lovable.
Of course.
I guess all women are lovable, to be honest.
Yes, but anything that's exotic is even more lovable, right? And I do believe that American women especially grow up quicker than Italian women do or European women do. They have much more freedom sooner than we do. So a 19, 20-year-old American girl is a lot less sheltered than an Italian peer. This is perceived by men as a good chance to...
Like an invitation, maybe.
Yes, because these women being perceived as having more experience, more freedom, maybe they're more grown up and in certain aspects of romantic life, and they'll be just more willing to, spend some time with them.
Yeah. And here in the U.S., at least, maybe it's just in my neighborhood. I can't speak for everybody, but it does seem like women, we teach our daughters, we teach everybody, no means no. And there's a culture that a romantic partner is supposed to stop if you're feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, not so much in Italy.
Yeah, in Italy, it may not be exactly the same. So that's why we have this list. I hope that you meet somebody exciting and fabulous and passionate and fun.
Il Principe Azzurro.
I love it. Yeah. And I also hope that you just feel safe about it.
Yeah, I just want to say, you may have plenty of chances of meeting Prince Charming in Italy. And yes, Italian men are handsome and romantic in ways that maybe, men in other cultures are not quite at the same point. But you will not find Prince Charming when you walk down the street and somebody's yelling, "Ciao bella."
Yeah, true. That's true.
Because that's your everyday street Casanova.
Well, I hope that this has been an informative episode for travelers and not too scary, just more like, let's just be aware and let's know who we're dealing with.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. Buon viaggio in Italia. Ciao, it's Elisa again. As you can tell, Erin and I love to talk about what travelers can expect when they visit Italy. Not just language, obviously, but with the culture, food, and so much more. In our free streaming episodes, we only scratch the surface. But in our bonus materials, you'll get access to everything, including transcripts for each episode, as well as translations, vocabulary lessons, and cultural tips from today's roundtable. Visit postcardsfromitalypodcast.com for details. Have the confidence of an Italian even in simple conversations and everyday situations. With our bonus materials, you'll get ad-free, full-length audio conversations, practice exercises with written worksheets, and bonus graphics that decode gestures, road signs, and menus.
Our premium subscribers get one additional bonus not found anywhere else. For our Italian for Travelers family, we've created uninterrupted glossaries for each episode that include the English word or expression, followed by the Italian version, which is then repeated so that you can listen and learn, practice, and repeat. These no-fuss listen and repeat glossaries take the drama out of learning travelers' Italian. Listen in the car, on your morning walk, on planes and trains, even while doing dishes or making dinner. Each episode's glossary file features all of the mini-glossaries in that lesson, so you can focus on the terms and situations that matter most to you, like food, shopping, or sightseeing. This is only for our Season 2 bonus material subscribers, so sign up today.
If you're an intermediate learner, you may also love the lessons in our Season 1 bonus materials, so check out our website. Visit postcardsfromitalypodcast.com for details. Postcards from Italy is a labor of love, connecting different cultures as we explore the dynamic nature of modern Italy through its language.
And remember to follow us on Instagram and sign up for our emails to stay updated on webinars and classes.
Thank you for listening. Non vedo l'ora di incontrarci di nuovo.